Hello everyone, my name is Cynthia and I'm so excited to talk about my first data science project work with OESON Global Training and Internship Program. And the title of my today's presentation is Stock Market Analysis. Sit back and I hope you enjoy the presentation. The contents of this presentation are introduction, description of futures, project starts, comparative analysis, summary. Welcome to today's presentation, where we will delve into a comprehensive analysis of three tech giants, Microsoft, Tesla, and Apple, against the backdrop of the S&P 500 index. Our analysis will span from 2018 through 2023, utilizing 1,278 data points for each stock, providing a detailed understanding of stock performance and market dynamics. This presentation aims to provide a comparative statistical analysis, trend identification, and risk assessment of each stock's closing prices alongside the S&P 500 index. We will leverage Excel for this study. The S&P 500 represents the performance of 500 large companies listed on stock exchange in the United States and is often considered the best indicator of the US stock market. By comparing individual stock performance against the S&P 500, we can gain insight into how well each stock is doing relative to the overall market. Description of futures. The data set is organized into 4 separate sheets, each focused on a different financial entity. The MSFT sheet captures data related to Microsoft stock performance. The Tesla sheet is dedicated to information on Tesla stock. The Apple sheet houses data concerning Apple's stock metrics. The S&P 500 sheet compiles data from the S&P 500 index. Each of these data sets includes columns for the following parameters: the date of the recorded stock activity, the opening and closing prices, the day's highest and lowest prices, and adjusted closing price, the volume of shares traded, and the percentage change in the stock price of the day. I am opting to use the closing price for this analysis as it offers a dependable and streamlined data point that minimizes fluctuation within the trading day, thereby simplifying the overall evaluation. The tasks that I am required to deliver on are to make a comparative descriptive statistics on the price value of each of the stock and also displaying charts to show the trend. I'm also required to include charts like scattered plots, histogram, and also to include my descriptive statistics value like the mean, median, and standard deviation into my histogram, and also to make a regression model over the percentage change in closing stock price to S&P 500 market return for each company, and then finally to compare the value of the beta to show the progress of the stock and the risk value involved. Over here, I have used the data analyst tool from Excel to get the descriptive statistics of each of the stocks and S&P 500. Looking at the values from my outcome, the average closing price of MSFT is much higher compared to Tesla and Apple. The S&P 500, being an index of multiple stocks, has a significantly higher mean value. Median. Similar observation can be made from the median. MSFT still happens to have the highest value for the median. This could suggest that MSFT is generally a higher valued stock. Standard deviation. Tesla has the highest standard deviation, suggesting higher volatility or risks, followed by MSFT and then Apple. Skewness. All stocks and S&P 500 are positively skewed, indicating that the distribution tails off towards the higher end. However, the skewness value are relatively low, suggesting the distributions are close to symmetrical. Kurtosis. Negative kurtosis for all suggests that distribution have lighter tails and fewer outliers compared to a normal distribution. Here, I've got a beautiful line chart visualizing the trend for all the stock and S&P 500. Microsoft has shown a generally upward trend, peaking around 2019 and 2022. Tesla has experienced significant volatility with noticeable spikes in price. It had a dramatic increase in price around late 2020 and early 2021. Apple has shown a similar trend with like MSFT because it's generally upward and the trend is generally upward, but it has a less volatility compared to Tesla. The index S&P 500 has shown a generally upward trend, serving as a less volatile benchmark compared to the individual stock. I used the scatter plots to show the relationship between each stock and the market. Here, Microsoft exhibits a strong, less volatile correlation with the markets. And from the visualization here, in my scatter plot, Apple shows a moderate, somewhat volatile correlation with the market, whereas Tesla displays volatile and less predictable relationship with the market. I've got a beautiful histogram here with the mean, median, and STD inside the histogram to be able to get a clear visualization of the analysis. Looking at the Microsoft, the mean and the median are close, suggesting a fairly symmetric distribution. The STD lines show the range where most of the data lies. Tesla, the wide gap between the mean and the median, along with the wide spread of the STD, indicates higher volatility and a skewed distribution. Apple, like Microsoft, the mean and the median are close, indicating a fairly balanced distribution. The STD lines also are closer, indicating less volatility compared to Tesla. S&P 500. The mean and the median are close, and the STD lines are fairly tight around them, indicating a less volatile and more stable index. I have also built a regression model to get insight into stock performance versus S&P 500 market returns. Coming from the visualization, the beta values are Microsoft 1.22, Tesla 1.45, Apple 1.23. Microsoft with a beta value of 1.22 obviously is greater than 1. It indicates that the stock is somewhat more volatile than the market. A 1% increase in the S&P 500 would generally lead to an approximately 1.22% increase in Microsoft's stock price. Tesla with a beta value of 1.45 suggests that Tesla's stock is significantly more volatile compared to the market. The stock price is likely to change 1.45 times as much as the S&P 500. Apple with a beta value of 1.23 means that Apple's stock is also more volatile than the market, but less than Tesla. A 1% change in the market would result in an approximately 1.23% change in Apple's stock market. Here, I've got a beautiful line chart visualizing the trend for all the stock and S&P 500. Microsoft has shown a generally upward trend, peaking around 2019 and 2022. Tesla has experienced significant volatility with noticeable spikes in price. It had a dramatic increase in price around late 2020 and early 2021. Apple has shown a similar trend with like MSFT because it's generally upward and the trend is generally upward, but it has a less volatility compared to Tesla. The index S&P 500 has shown a generally upward trend, serving as a less volatile benchmark compared to the individual stock. And finally, the summary of our analysis shows that Microsoft exhibits a strong, less volatile correlation with the market. It has the lowest beta value, indicating lower sensitivity to market changes, and is best suited for investors looking for predictability and lower risks. Tesla here displays a volatile and less predictable relationship with the market, hold the highest beta value, suggesting higher risks but greater potential returns, and is most appropriate for risk-tolerant investors aiming for high returns. Apple shows a moderate, somewhat volatile correlation with the market. It carries a moderate beta value, indicating balanced risks and potential returns, and is ideal for investors seeking a middle-of-the-road risk-reward profile. Down here, I have the risk assessments summarized. Higher risks. Tesla is greater than Apple, greater than MSFT. Higher return potential. Tesla greater than Apple, Apple greater than MSFT. And this brings us to the end of the slide. Below my name, Cynthia OESON, is the link to the project work that I have done with the Excel. You can use to get more visualization and to see the beautiful dashboard that I've created. And then below the link is my LinkedIn profile. We can connect together. Thank you.